There's a naked alien on my ship. That was the first thought I had as I turned the corner into engineering and nearly dropped my coffee. Second thought. She was beautiful. Ethereal. Not exactly naked. She had some kind of crystalline fabric draped around her form, shimmering and shifting with light, but it left very little to the imagination. Third thought. This was not in the first contact manual. 5 hours earlier, I'd been alone aboard the TSS Juno for 6 months. Deep Space Research Outpost duty. Standard for mid-career officers. Scan anomalies, report findings. Try not to lose your mind from isolation. Juno was an old survey-class vessel. Just me, a voice AI named LEX, and 800 tons of half-broken Terran science equipment. We were coasting through the Eridani drift when a sensor ping lit up the board. Non-Terran life form, sublight speed, no IFF signature, and close. Too close. By the time I adjusted course, it was already breaching our shields. I expected weapons fire. Got her. Who are you? I said carefully. The alien woman stood in the center of engineering, unbothered by the alarms still flashing red. She tilted her head. You are human. Her voice resonated not just audibly but through me, like a soft vibration in the chest. I'm Lieutenant Reese Calder, Terran Survey Corps. You've boarded an active vessel without authorization. She blinked slowly. There were no locks. That's not the point. She stepped forward, barefoot on the metal deck, and I instinctively took a step back. Her eyes were radiant violet, her hair like liquid mercury. I am called Valari, she said. I meant no intrusion. Your ship sang to me. Sang? Yes, machines speak. Yours is lonely. And blinked. You can hear my ship. She nodded. Then she touched the nearest console, and the lights stabilized. Lex, said. The AI's voice responded, calmer than it had been in days. User presence detected. Internal systems operating at 93%. That was impossible. The Juno hadn't run above 60% in 3 months. Valari looked at me and smiled. You welcome me, yes? First contact. Improvised. There were rules for first contact. Strict ones. Quarantine procedures. Remote scans. Psycholinguistic simulations. But none of them applied when the alien casually bypassed the ship's security systems, healed my core reactor with a touch, and asked for tea. We sat in the mess hall. She studied everything, utensils, lights, food packets, with quiet fascination. Do your people wear coverings always? She asked suddenly. I nearly choked on my coffee. Usually. We have modesty laws. Why? Shrugged. Cultural standards. Privacy. Professionalism. She looked down at herself, then back at me. I find it constraining. Clothing inhibits energy flow. Your kind seems to fear vulnerability. I swallowed. Not fear. Just prefer boundaries. She tilted her head. And yet, you are alone. On a vessel designed for many. You call this boundary. I didn't have an answer. A2. Valari explored the ship with wide-eyed curiosity, moving like someone trying to listen to the metal itself. She communicated with LEX more fluently than I could. She called him the still voice. Every time she touched a wall or panel, something worked better. Replicator realigned. Comm array stopped flickering. My coffee didn't taste like engine grease for once. I finally asked her where she was from. My people are called the Ilari, she said. We are few. We drift. Energy bonded to ancient vessels. But yours? Your ship still has hope. That phrase hit me harder than I expected. Hope was something I hadn't felt in a long time. Day 3. Reese, she said in the night, appearing at the edge of my bunk. You are not resting. Groaned. Hard to sleep when I have a literal space goddess haunting my ship. She smiled. I am no goddess. Just curious. You don't sleep either. I do. But I wanted to ask. She stepped forward, still in that minimal mesh-like wrap. I looked anywhere but directly at her. May I rest near you? My brain short-circuited. Why? Croaked. You humans generate emotional frequency. It is soothing. You grieve. Blinked. How do you know that? Your ship whispers it. Your walls remember. I didn't answer. Instead, I slid over on the bunk. She lay beside me. No words. Just silence. Warmth. Breathing. Connection. Day 4. I woke up with her hand on my chest. Not in a sexual way. More like someone holding on during turbulence. She opened her eyes and stared at me. I understand you better now, she said. Your silence isn't loneliness. It's armor. You read minds too. Yes. She shook her head. I listen. You radiate pain, but also light. You've lost, but you haven't stopped giving. I don't know what that means. She leaned in, forehead resting against mine. It means you are not like the others. Day 6. The transmission came in at 0400. Command had detected the anomaly. They were en route. Estimated arrival, 48 hours. Protocol said I had to report her. Protocol didn't feel like the right thing to do. I sat in the mess hall, staring into space. Valari appeared without a sound. You must tell them, she said. You knew. Yes. They'll take you. Study you. Put you in a cage. They may try. But I am not afraid. I looked at her, this brilliant being who had restored not just my ship, but something inside me. I don't want to lose you, I whispered. You won't, she said. Because we are bonded. When the Terran fleet arrived, Valari didn't hide. She met them on the ramp. Tall, radiant, proud. There was tension. Canners. Questions. But I stood beside her. And I told the truth. About how she healed the ship. Saved me. Showed me what connection felt like again. They asked if she was dangerous. I told them only to isolation. Day 50, after review. She wasn't caged. Not exactly. They studied her, sure. But she cooperated on one condition. That I stay nearby. They didn't understand why a lone engineer had become the ambassador for a new species. But I did. Because connection isn't just language or data. It's presence. Shared breath. Silent understanding. And sometimes it's laying side by side, with no barriers between hearts or species. Epilogue. Valari still doesn't wear much. The official dress code was updated last week. Adaptive attire permitted for non-Terran life forms, so long as function is preserved. Command doesn't know what to make of her. But the crew, they adore her. Do I? First contact wasn't just a diplomatic milestone. It was personal. Unfiltered. And it changed everything.